Welcome to the deep dive. I know we all make mistakes, right? It's just, well, part of being human.
Absolutely.
But what if those slip-ups, especially the really tough ones in something like, say, starting a business,
hmm
what if they weren't just setbacks?
What if they were actually stepping stones? Yeah.
Exactly. Stepping stones to something, maybe even something bigger.
Well, that's pretty much our mission today, isn't it? We're going to really dig into the key insights from a panel discussion just recently, actually, at the INSEAD Entrepreneurship Forum in Singapore.
Oh, right. That was in July 2025.
That's the one. And the whole topic was turning startup mistakes into future success. You had these really seasoned entrepreneurs, founders, basically sharing their war stories.
They're horror stories, as you called them before.
Yeah, exactly. But crucially, also what they learned, the really valuable stuff.
And, it struck me right away, the panel wasn't just listing mistakes. It kicked off talking about how we even think about failure.
The cultural angle.
Yeah, how in some places, maybe it's seen as like a badge of honor, you tried, you learned, but elsewhere.
Still a huge stigma.
Right. So our aim here is kind of celebrate that learning journey, show how even, pretty big failures can actually lead to real wisdom.
So let's get into it. After that opening about different views on mistakes, it seems the conversation quickly turned to a really common early problem.
Finding the right people.
Finding the right people, co-founders, collaborators, just how difficult that is.
Yeah. And what really stood out, it seems, was how often the human stuff trust, values aligning.
That was the weak spot, sometimes even more than like the actual business plan itself.
Right. It sounds like that human element could be a way bigger risk than the idea. We heard about one panelist, right, invested in a men's fashion business.
Well, this was to handle the finance side.
Yeah, his area. But then the co-founders just left. And not only left, but opened the competing store. Different country, but still.
Wow. So what happened?
Well, he had to jump in, run the whole operation himself, something he knew like nothing about. Total trial by fire.
But he learned firsthand about what customers actually needed, the pain points.
Exactly. And that experience, tough as it was, actually pushed him back towards his main consulting business, but, much wiser.
That's a tough lesson. And it kind of feeds into another story we heard, maybe even more cautionary.
Go on.
Well, another panelist talked about professionally dating a potential co-founder, an established tech guy.
Okay, so they spent time getting to know each other first. 6 months, I think.
6 months, yeah. Felt like a good connection. They even signed a cap table, sorting out the equity split.
Right, the ownership. Sounds like things were moving forward.
But then the guy stalls on signing the actual co-founder contract and starts demanding more equity.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it ended up in a legal fight. And the killer mistake.
Let me guess. Due diligence.
Bingo. Zero due diligence. They just read some articles about him, felt the vibe was good.
Didn't talk to anyone who'd actually worked with him before locking things in.
Ouch. A really painful lesson about checking people out properly.
It really makes you shiver, thinking how fast things can go wrong with the wrong person. It's not just the business, is it?
No, it can get personal. We heard from an event company founder, remember, a total nightmare with a local partner for a big event in Bali, high-end jewelry brand.
Oh, yeah, the overcharging was insane, wasn't it? Like $1,000 for some black fabric.
Exactly. Stuff that should cost next to nothing. And when they questioned it...
The partner sent immigration after them. Seriously.
Seriously. The founder ended up having their passport taken for 5 days, facing audits. I mean, they could move around at night, thankfully, but still.
That's terrifying. It shows bad partners can risk your business and your personal freedom.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about business connections either. There was that surprising bit of advice.
There was a lawyer.
Yeah, to an audience member who'd had a bad split with partners in an IoT firm. The lawyer said, when you're checking out partners...
Also take into account the spouse.
Wow. Right. It just shows how deep the personal alignment needs to go. It's not just about skills.
So thinking about this for you listening, it really seems like finding the right people isn't just about a fancy CV, is it?
Not at all. It's about that deep early digging. Checking character, making sure values line up, really doing your homework.
Okay, so that's the people side. Hugely important. But the challenges didn't stop there, did they? Panelists also talked about operational problems. Things just breaking.
Yeah, the operational breakdowns and how they had to, pivot or fix things on the fly.
And connecting that maybe to the bigger picture, these stories really showed how crucial it is to be agile, right?
Totally. And to understand where the real problem is, like what's the true cost, not just what looks obvious on the surface.
That example of the vacuum robots was perfect for that, wasn't it?
Yeah, the audience member story. Remind us.
So his company delivered 200 cleaning robots, but they had faulty wiring from the supplier in China.
Right. And the supplier just saw the cost of the wire, which was tiny.
Exactly. Trivial cost for them. But the entrepreneur, he saw the customer cost. Imagine getting a new robot, and it dies straight away. Huge potential damage to his brand. Customer trust. Everything.
So what did he do?
He and his assistant got on a plane, flew over, and spent 3 days fixing every single one of those 200 robots themselves.
Wow. Hands-on.
Totally. And that extreme focus on the customer's experience, it apparently earned them massive loyalty. A huge lesson learned about looking beyond your own costs to the customer's reality.
And that story, it kind of underlines another point that came up, didn't it? About how entrepreneurs sometimes learn the hard way.
You mean about data versus gut feel?
Yeah, exactly. Panelists, audience members, they sort of admitted entrepreneurs often rely on intuition, that gut feel, even when the data, or just common sense like doing proper due diligence.
He's right there.
Right. And it often leads to mistakes they regret. But that sharp pain is also, well, how you learn, isn't it? A very effective teacher, unfortunately.
It really hammers home that sometimes the thing that feels like a failure at the time can actually be a massive success in disguise,
Right.
like avoiding a bigger problem.
You're thinking of the $80 million offer story.
Yeah. Panelist gets this huge offer, $80 million, only 6 months into their startup.
That
Sounds amazing, right?
almost too good to be true.
And their investors were actually warning them, saying this acquiring company had a history of, like, shady stuff. But still, $80 million. It's an emotional decision, too.
So what happened? Did they take it?
No, they agonized, but they turned it down. Then, just 3 weeks later, a competitor took a bigger investment from that same company.
Yeah.
And a few months down the line, the founders were fired, the competitor was shut down, completely validated the investors' warnings.
So saying no, which probably felt like a mistake or a missed opportunity at the
It
time,
was actually dodging a bullet, a huge win in hindsight.
which leads us to a really critical point, I think. Success isn't about not making mistakes. Nobody avoids them entirely.
Right. It's about what you do after the mistake.
Exactly. It's the ability to learn, to reflect, and maybe most importantly, to build better systems so it doesn't happen again, or so you can handle it better next time.
Like the event company example. How long did it take them to hit their first $10 million?
Nearly 10 years, they said. A long slog.
But then, after COVID knocked them way back,
Yeah.
down to like $1 million.
They bounced back incredibly fast, hit $15 million in just 3 years.
Which sounds amazing, but it wasn't luck, was it?
No, it was because of everything they'd learned in those first 10 tough years. They'd built processes, gained experience. They had systems in place to scale much, much faster when the opportunity came back. Learning from failure built that foundation.
So as the panel started wrapping up, they really distilled some core ideas. Thinking about you listening, if you're an entrepreneur or thinking about it, what are the absolute key takeaways?
Yeah, it moved towards those fundamental traits, didn't it? The things that let entrepreneurs not just, get through the tough times, but actually thrive long term.
And two things really seem to stand out.
Humility, definitely, and getting your head around the core business number.
Yeah, that humility point was powerful.
Yeah.
One panelist just said straight up, if you mess up, don't be shy about it.
Own it.
Own it. And another added to that, saying step one is to have the humility to accept it. Then you reflect. Then you build a framework so it doesn't happen again.
It's that cycle. Acknowledge, process, prevent. Very clear.
And link that humility to just persistence, the long haul.
Oh, yeah. The panel really emphasized that successful founders are often the ones who've just been in the game for very long. They've put up with unbearable amount of effort and beating for an unbelievable amount of time.
Sounds exhausting.
It is. And they said passion is basically the only thing that gets you through that psychological grind. It's what keeps you going for years, not just a few months, and lets you see mistakes as just bumps in a very long road.
Okay, so humility, passion, persistence.
Yeah.
But then there was that massive financial lesson, the one people said took years and failures to really sink in.
Ah, yes. The big one. Profit versus revenue.
Huge aha moment, it sounded like. One panelist was really open about it, saying it took them ages to learn.
Because so many startups, especially in tech maybe, they just chase revenue after growth, right? It's all about that top line number.
Get bigger, get more users, more sales.
But the panelists said the hard reality is what matters at the bottom line is your profit.
Simple, but apparently easy to forget in the heat of growth.
Seems so. The advice was crystal clear. Focus on your gross margin and profit targets. Don't just chase revenue. Because, and this was the killer line.
If I make zero at the end of the day, you don't have a company.
Exactly. It's not just about looking big, it's about actually building something sustainable, something that generates real wealth, not just impressive-looking sales figures. That really hit home.
Okay, so let's quickly recap this deep dive then.
Yeah.
What have we pulled out from that INSEAD panel on turning mistakes into success?
Well, first, the absolute critical need to choose partners wisely. That means deep due diligence, checking character, not just skills.
Right. Then, focusing on customer impact, not just your internal costs. Like with the robot example, seeing the problem from their side.
Then the power of learning from failures to build better, faster systems for the future. Like the event company's growth.
And underpinning it all, that mindset.
Yeah.
Humility to own your mistakes.
And the financial discipline to understand that profit, true profit, not just revenue, is the ultimate goal for a sustainable business. That really seemed like the capstone lesson.
It makes you think, doesn't it? This whole deep dive into sharing failures, learning openly.
If being willing to talk about mistakes and learn from them is such a powerful way to grow, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? What opportunities might you be missing out on?
Yeah, but maybe not looking at your own setbacks with that same kind of radical transparency.
Food for thought.
Definitely. So we encourage you to think about your own experiences, maybe mistakes you've made, and see how these lessons might help you move forward. Maybe even accelerate your own journey.